Well, first of all, introduce yourself.
I'm Anna, COO at Viv, so all things supply chain, ops, logistics, and a new mom.
Our resident mother. I am not a mom, and I feel like I have so many questions that we've talked about so many different things about becoming a mother, but something that I never even thought about was getting your period again after giving birth. So I would love to know your perspective. Did you feel prepared or like know what to expect about getting your period back post childbirth?
Such a great question. Same. That was something I had not thought about at all. And thank God I work for a period company because I had period care handy when the day did come because it's something I feel like people don't really talk about. And at least for me, my experience was it came as a big surprise. So I was breastfeeding, which you hear it's like that can sometimes delay when your period does come. But mine came pretty quickly. I think I got it like 3 to 4 months postpartum. And you hear that it's going to sort of be a little choppy at first. It may come and go, which was definitely my experience. It was sort of a few months of like a few days here, a few days there. And another reason I was like just so grateful for the Viv products because even knowing my period care routine completely changed postpartum.
Wait, that was gonna be another one of my questions. Like, how is your period different now than it was before? And do you use different products now than you did before? Like, what's changed?
Totally. So hopefully I'm not verging into TMI territory, but
No such thing.
I had a vaginal birth. And so when my period did come back, I was like, no, anything up inside there, no, thank you. I was a pad only girl for probably the first like 4 to 5 months postpartum, and like relied and loved our Viv pads, much like I did for postpartum bleeding too. But a combination of the pads and liners was so helpful. And then once I felt like I had kind of gotten in my groove, I found my period had changed to be it was less intense cramping, but much heavier, but a little shorter than my periods had
Hmm.
been pre baby. So as a result, I got really excited about the cup again. Once I felt better about sort of inserting something again, the cup was huge. It was such a game changer for me.
Okay, wait. So if you're using the cup now, have you had to change the size of cup that you use?
Yeah, nothing is TMI here. So I actually experimented with the different sizes postpartum. So the first time I tried a cup postpartum, I actually tried the large, knowing that it can work better post childbirth. But I found that the large actually was a little too big. It wasn't uncomfortable. I just think it wasn't fully opening. So I had some problems with having a little bit of leakage. And I realized it was like, okay, it's going up in the fold and I'm not feeling it sort of pop open and have that secure seal. So for me, the small still works. And I'm
Mhm.
curious if I do end up having more kids, if that will continue to be the case or if I'll have a size shift.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I feel like right now I am like extra small, small, and like post childbirth will it be like small large?
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? Do you think working for Viv and like working in this industry made you pay attention to your period more than you would have? In general, we all pay so much attention to little changes in our periods and like how products are working so specifically, but do you think that you're more aware or like how has your perception of periods changed?
Totally. And I think that's something that has been such a cool experience when I think of for how long my period was something that like came and was stressful. I've always had like very heavy, very intense periods. So it was almost like this day that you're dreading. And I feel like it's been so lucky working for Viv that my period postpartum came with a lot more like curiosity about what it would be like, professional curiosity about being like, okay, wow, now will I be a large cup user? And sort of being, because I love our products so much, I was actually excited to get back into the routine of like the monthly using of my Viv products. But it definitely has made me look at my period differently. Um, like they say, like the saying of like your period can be the report card basically of your month.
Yeah.
I've thought about a lot about that and about especially someone that has intense periods, like, okay, how can I start to like implement those sort of steps of self care or hormonal care at all points in the month. And especially as a mom, when self-care kind of goes to the last of your to-do list, I feel like getting my period back was a good reminder, like, okay, I need to check in with myself and how can I treat myself in the way that will be reflected best at the end of the month.
That's such a positive way of looking at it. That's such like a positive approach to getting a period. That's very impressive.
Not quite that positive when my period first arrived. I was like, now already?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Is there anything you wish someone told you about postpartum periods? Or honestly, just about postpartum in general?
Yeah, I think maybe two things. For one, with postpartum periods, I feel like what I had heard the most was talking about breastfeeding delaying your period, which is important to know, especially if you're sure you don't want to get pregnant again. If that's sort of like a worry, it's good to know that that's not something you have to be worried about. It can often be late. But mine coming so early, it felt a little bit like a slap in the face. I was like, okay, wait a second. I didn't think I'd have to deal with this for a bit. And the other piece that sort of surprised me postpartum, especially I had like some tears and sort of a lot of bleeding for a while after birth. Um, and I feel so lucky that I was in the period care industry because I didn't realize this sort of like product fatigue I would get. Like I found cycling in different products was a way of sort of dealing with that felt more helpful. Like I felt like it just felt like I was having the longest period of my life. And so to be able to think of it sort of from our perspective, be like, okay, let me test this different product and see how this works, and helped sort of handle the longer period of recovery that I had expected.
Wait, not you using your birth as like a product development opportunity. That's insane, first of all, but kind of cool. Was there anything else you want to talk about in terms of your period?
One thing I want to say that was interesting for me was how long it took me, how many periods it took me before using a cup postpartum. So maybe something out there to all of the new moms that are like sort of nervous about making that change to the cup. I feel like, especially after a vaginal birth, but really after any birth, you're just a little bit more sensitive to the changes, and sort of doing something outside the routine can feel overwhelming. For me, getting back into the routine of using my cup was a huge game changer. I felt like it helped lessen some of my period symptoms, which was huge, but the ability to sort of set it and forget it for the 12-hour days, especially when you're having a big, like, back to work full time, and then you're having full time childcare up outside your work hours, that felt like an act of self care, of being like, okay, I'm back to using my cup like I was pre baby. And honestly, using it now is even more convenient than it was post baby. So it's a little scary to make that move. And especially if you're first time making the switch, but I definitely can't recommend it highly enough.
Yeah, I feel like if you used a cup before, it's probably pretty like almost jarring to have to go back to like pads and like use so many products and stuff afterwards that it can like be a relief to go back to using the cup. Totally. Because it's so different. Having a period and using a menstrual cup is so different from any other product. You have to think about your period so much more when you're using like pads or tampons. Yeah. So I can see that for sure. Thank you for joining me. This is Anna. And happy Mother's Day.
Yay, my first Mother's Day.
Yeah. Okay.